Hi, and welcome to another mini lesson. This time I'm going to be talking about Noel Nouvelet, which is written for advanced harp solo. It was performed and recorded on pedal harp. Today I'm mostly going to be talking about the lever harp version, but I also make reference to the pedal harp version. If you need more help with the pedal harp, please let me know and I'll make another video. This piece was recorded for the Rosewind album Winter Ayres, and it's been published by Afghan Music Press. You can find both pedal and lever versions either in printed music or as a PDF download at folkharp.com. This piece existed as an improvisation for years, and it was always changing, so it was a bit of a challenge to write it out. And even now, when I play it, I'm not playing strictly what's written on the page. The first thing I would encourage you to do is memorize the piece, and then you can set yourself free to improvise around it. It's not difficult to memorize. Here's a little chart to use to memorize the basic flow of the piece. It opens with 2-bar introduction, and then the A theme, which is simply and it repeats. So that's 8 bars of A theme. Then the B theme. And again. And then you get 4 more bars of the A theme. And that's pretty much the whole piece. 8 bars of A, 8 bars of B, and 4 more bars of the A theme. Now in my arrangement, I have 4 measures between each verse that I refer to as a bridge. I find it kind of nice to shape the bridge. You could even improvise while you're playing the bridge. During the A theme, on many of the verses, I am just using the F minor chord underneath the right hand the whole time. The chief exception is the first time through, where it's F minor, B flat, C minor, and back to F minor. All of the other verses are basically just the F minor chord. When you have this pattern in the lever harp, note that the F is always the bottom note. Now you could analyze those chords if you want to, but it's easier just to remember the pattern. We go into this pattern. Again, F stays in the bass. Now the B theme is always the same. It's F minor, C minor, F minor, C minor, without fail. So if you can just remember those simple chords, you're halfway there. Now to begin the piece, I want you to really emphasize the downbeat with the left hand. The right hand pretty much floats over the top. Even though you're giving the left hand a lot of punch, never lose track that the right hand is telling the story. In measure 22, where we start the bridge, instead of the heavily accented left hand, now it's going to be more fluid. And you can shape this phrase, making it more interesting. And you could even improvise around it. So keep the left hand light and let the right hand tell the story. Now on the next page, it's more like the pedal harp where you have this bigger extension. Don't overthink it. But if that is too difficult, just keep the first pattern that you had. They both work just fine. And pedal harp, you can do this too. Here's one of the reasons why I suggest memorizing. The left hand is very busy through much of the piece. It's hard to get a page turn in. So in measure 38, I suggest bringing the right hand closer to the sounding board when the left hand is down there in the bass and things are getting a little muddy. The right hand close to the sounding board helps clean things up, and it sounds kind of mysterious. Keep the left hand very light. To play those quick little octaves, I reach with my hands fairly horizontal, not like this, but like this. Notice my fourth finger is kind of straight going into it, but I try to get a good bend when I play. And use my wrist to pull them off. In measure 46, instead of using the repeated notes like the pedal harp will have, which is a very new agey kind of a sound, I came up with this turn. Now to play those quick repeated notes, I usually try to have part of my hand anchored so the fourth finger can play twice. Just like that. Notice that when I can, I accent the first of each set of 2 or set of 4. Measure 62, the pedal harp has some enharmonic equivalents. The lever harp just has open fifths, and it's just repeated. Measure 64, if you want to bring the right hand down towards the sounding board again, you can, or leave it here, whichever you like the sound of. Now in measure 74, the pedal harp is going to have a lot of work to do with the pedals to set up the enharmonics. For the lever harp, I couldn't quite make it exactly the same sound, but you do have a couple lever changes. So I gave you a simple thing to do while the left hand makes a couple of G sharps. If you want to extend this pattern, you can throw in a nice FCF in the bass. Here's where the pedal harp has a bis-bis glissando. Here's what the lever harp does. It's also very pretty. Now here the left hand is going to be playing the melody while the right hand is doing its busy patterns. It's a bit of a trick, and it takes a little practice, but it's fun and very effective. When the left hand is playing the melody here, the right hand needs to stay very light, and the left hand comes in and grabs those strings and press into the strings so you get a lot of sound out of it and get as much of a bell tone as you can with that left hand. See, there's quite a contrast in depth of tone between the right hand, which is barely pulling the strings at all, and the left hand, which I'm waiting. And this is a time when I will put my thumb in my left hand underneath this knuckle and give it a little more weight and stiffness, almost like I'm turning it into a piano hammer or something. Measure 92. The pedal harp has a fancy arpeggio. The lever harp does too. It's just a little bit different. Think of it as a C9. So here's your C minor chord with the ninth added, but starting on the E. Both hands are the same over and over. And then if you have that high C on your harp, do people ever ask you if you ever play those strings up on top? And you can say, I absolutely do. There it is. In measure 111, there's an F arpeggio that I just did naturally. You can do any F minor arpeggio you want to do. This is just something my hands came up with and I tried to write it down. 4, 2, 1, come under with 3, place thumb, place, come off. If that's too awkward, just play any F minor arpeggio that you want to play that's comfortable for you. Even if you throw in some interesting notes. As always, thank you for supporting me and my publisher and your sheet music supplier. It means a lot to me. I hope you get to play many beautiful events this Christmas season. To play that quick octave pattern, what do I just? You can get real spacey with it and shape the phrase. And like I said, you could